Mr. President, I voted yes on a bill that the previous speaker talked about, and you know that we've had 3 years of drug-related burglaries in my district. Some folks are worried, some folks are upset. And the bill for me is about turning the lives around of low-level offenders through intense supervision when appropriate, and avoiding turning folks into better lifelong criminals. There are bad people in this world, Mr. President, and this bill does not make it easier on them. What this does is that it helps people that have lost their way, made poor choices, people that can be good people. Today, with some of those folks, you think about, it's a little bit about cost, but it's primarily about public safety for me. But for the low-level people, we tie up Department of Public Safety, the Department of Law, Corrections, and then the costs hit the Department of Health and Social Services. When that individual goes away, there's a continuous destructive cycle of us supporting their family and them not having that turnaround in that life that can result in an example that helps with their children and grandchildren. And you know, part of the bill has sort of developed this urban legend, and it's based on fear and emotions. I have 3 stories quickly to share. One is from my district. It was from an individual that had committed robbery 1, an A felony, theft 2, a C felony on 2/14 of 16. He could afford the bail. He was out on bail, and he committed another offense, a burglary 1, theft 2, and another theft 2, to a B felony and 2 C felonies. The problem is that person could afford the bail, and our system failed him. It failed to ensure pretrial success. So Senate Bill 91 envisions a pretrial risk assessment being conducted on every defendant before a release decision is made. That's for the first time in the state's history. And in that case, with that high-risk individual, that person would not have been on the street. This bill utilizes in-person visits, field visits, drug and alcohol testing, and electronic monitoring to ensure compliance with the conditions of the release. The second story is about an amazing young man named Jace Robertson, and I am using his name. He came down here. He did a fundraiser. I contributed to that fundraiser because he wanted to come down and testify. Jace made some mistakes in his latter teen years, lost his license for life. He turned his life around. He went back to college, top student, process technology. He now has a job with an oil company. He's a beautiful young family, a really adorable little girl. He's turned his life around, still can't drive. This bill allows someone that has proven that kind of rehabilitation, that kind of promise, that kind of public human potential to turn his life around and succeed. It removes an obstacle for the success of those that can turn their life around. Mr. President, the final story is about technical violations. I received an email from a family that I know. Young man made some poor choices. People need to be held accountable for their poor choices. He did his time, went through training, got a great job on the slope. He missed an appointment on his probation, went back to prison for 6 months, lost his job on the slope, and we are paying for that. We are paying for that. We're not paying for his incarceration. We're paying to support his family. And this bill, in some cases, provides longer sentences for folks that are bad people. And there are some bad people. This is not soft on crime for bad people. The public need to be protected. They must be protected. And they will be protected from violent and repeat offenders. Mr. President, for me, this bill is about positive human potential and a reset for a result very much like Jace Robertson's, and I'm proud to support that effort. Proud to support the member 2 seats down for me that worked so hard of it and on it, and all the others that participated in the improvement of this bill, and certainly willing to give it a chance to succeed.